Hello and welcome. Welcome to Down the Rabbit Hole with Kimmie Siegl. Um, Today's topic is going to be somewhat about the laws of the universe. So, the other day, while I was sitting having my coffee, Spirit brought to my attention a groundhog that had visited me. And I looked up the meaning of groundhog, and it was pretty much go deeper. And go deeper, why? Because I had questions, okay? And it's always good to have questions, okay? And there is no such thing as a stupid question, just so you know, okay? So I had two initial questions. The first one being, are the laws of the universe spiritually based? Good question, right? I think so. And the second question is specifically why we see in our world today people that seem to have everything handed to them on a silver platter, when we who are quote unquote spiritual try our best and we're not getting anywhere. So those were the two questions that I started this with. And the groundhog told me to go deeper. So I started Googling about the laws of the universe. And I suggest, okay, that if you have your own questions, do the same thing. Do the research, okay, guys? Research can be fun, especially when you're finding answers to things that you had no clue, okay? So always, 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 and I'll say it again, always question things. Don't take people at their word for it, okay? We have the universe virtually at our fingertips right now, okay? So don't take people at their word for things. You know, you have Google, you have Safari, whatever, search engine you have. Use it to your fullest extent so that you can find out the answers to your own personal questions. Excuse me. It's allergy season here. Anyway, so I did what the groundhog suggested. And for those of you that don't know me, I am very much into what our spirit animal guides have to say for us and how they're helping us. And the groundhog came up for me that day because they were showing me that I needed to look deeper into these laws of the universe. And I went through a bunch of information. Okay, there's a lot of information out there, and this is where your discernment comes in. Okay, if something that you're reading or seeing does not resonate with you, then go with that feeling and go on to the next thing. Use your gut feeling. We all have it. It comes from our solar plexus. Okay. Use your gut feeling to discern whether what you're reading, seeing, or hearing is true for you or not. That is what I was doing when I was trying to figure out whether the laws of the universe were spiritually based or not, and why some people seemingly just get everything they want. Okay, so I came across this book, and it's called Laws of the Universe and Life. It is a PDF. You can find it in Google. It's by the Foundation for Consciousness Development. That's all it says. It doesn't say anything more or less, okay? And I was like, okay, what's this little thing? So I downloaded it into my handy dandy phone and started reading. And it has a table of contents. What is the purpose of the human experience? Chapter 1, the discovery of the laws. Chapter 2, fundamental laws that govern the universe. Fundamental laws that govern the universe. Chapter 3, recognizing the effect of the law. And Chapter 4, laws of life. I'm so sorry. I don't mean to be like clearing my throat constantly. Anyway, I have went through all the basic laws of the universe, and I still was not finding the answer that I was looking for, and I almost gave up. I said, well, this rabbit hole didn't lead anywhere. So I took a couple of days off, and then, the groundhog said, go deeper. So I got out the book and started reading again. Okay. And I am not specifically basing my conclusions on just this book. Okay. I've done a lot of research, and this takes time. Okay. So I'm going to scroll down to what I found extremely interesting today. This might take me a minute. Where are we? The discovery of the laws. Okay, the fundamental laws that govern the universe. The law of love, the law of manifestation, the law of polarity, the law of evolution, the law of correspondence, the law of harmony, the law of nature. This goes through all of those. And then we go on to what I'm calling the sublaws. Okay. And sublaws because they come out underneath the basic laws of the universe. Okay, now I know it's up further. I need to get ink for my printer. That way this will be a lot easier for the next time that I do this. But I'm thankful that I have my phone here and I'm able to use it. Oh, I hope I didn't go past it. Okay, I probably did. Let's see. Yeah, I did. Okay. There we are. The sublaws. Okay. Now, the sublaws start with the law of warning, the law of opportunity, the law of two, or the law of inquiry, and the law of three, perseverance versus stubbornness, the law of communicating vessels, the law of cause and effect, the law of saturation, the law of generation, the law of compensation, the law of sharing, the law of affinity, the law of empty spaces, the law of option of love, the law of understanding. So we are going to scroll up. Here we are. The law of opportunity. So I'm going to read some of this, okay? Opportunity is always present. Some people take advantage of it and are successful, while others battle against life and call failure, unfairness, or bad luck. It is not that someone who has failed is unlucky. It is that they are not within the law. They do not know it, or they do not know how to be governed by it, and therefore they violate it unknowingly. It is not that someone who is successful is lucky. It is that they are flowing with the law, even if they do not know it. A wise person flows with the law knowingly, and everything just goes well for them. Successful people do not place limitation on what life offers them. For example, they accept a job offer even if the function seems difficult to perform. Even if it is poorly paid, even if it takes a lot of effort, even if they initially do not know how to do it. The real opportunity is the opportunity to learn. So what I want to point out here, okay, is the law of opportunity is always present, okay, and it's available for everyone, okay, not just those that quote unquote think that this is all spiritual, okay, this is universal, this includes everyone, and this is why we are all considered one, okay, because there really is no judgment otherwise. Alrighty. So, it's always present. See, this is answering my questions. I had two questions, okay, whether it was the laws of the universe were spiritual or not, which this sublaw has already answered for me. Okay, no, they are not spiritual, they are universal. However, you can incorporate all of this into your spiritual practices, no matter what they are. Okay? Some people take advantage of it and are successful, while others battle against life and call failure unfairness or bad luck. There is no such thing as good or bad luck. It's knowing how to maneuver in the laws of the universe. It's not that someone who has failed is unlucky. It is that they are not within the law. Okay, so if you do not understand the law of opportunity or any other law that you're dealing with, okay, then you are going actually against the flow. All right? It is not that they are not within the law. It is that they are not within the law. They do not know it, or they do not know how to be governed by it, and therefore they violate it unknowingly. Okay, so this is why I'm adamant about saying, do your research, people. Okay, just don't take someone at its word. Okay, now I sat here for 3 years doing the spiritual thing. Okay, and I wasn't getting very far. I mean, I did get very far spiritually, but in the physical realm, okay, I did not get very far at all. Okay, so that also had a hand in sparking my curiosity as to why. All right. And it is not that someone who is successful is lucky. It is that they are flowing with the law, even if they don't know it. So you think of the times in your life where everything went smooth as pie. Okay. You didn't know this law existed. Okay. But you were actually flowing with it at that time. Okay. And this makes total sense to me. Now, like I said, if it doesn't make sense to you, please do your own research. Okay. I'm only here to share what I'm learning, and hoping that it will indeed help somebody else who's on a similar path as mine. Okay. It is that they are flowing with the law, even if they do not know it. A wise person flows with the law knowingly, and everything just goes well for them. So how do you flow with the law knowingly? You do the research. Okay. And I'm going to have more on this. Okay. Because this topic is obviously not done. It's a great topic, and it's very helpful in manifesting the things that are essential in our lives. Okay. Okay. And then it goes on to say, successful people do not place limitations on what life offers them. For example, they accept a job offer, even if the function seems difficult to perform, even if it is poorly paid, even if it takes a lot of effort, even if initially they do not know how to do it. The real opportunity is to learn. If what we do, say, or think is not consistent, we create a disorder in the flow of the universe, and everything is blocked for us. If we rebel against our function and we do not value it, resources are blocked. In the same way, as if we refuse to receive because we think we do not deserve it or we feel guilty. Okay? If we do not adapt to where we live and we try to find another function in a different city or a different country, and everything becomes difficult, the best thing is to give up the idea of leaving, to get out of the block and decide to adapt to where we are. Another reason why resources may become blocked is because we interfere with other people's destinies and play the good guy by paying someone else's debts, for example. That intention goes against the laws of the universe, which will block us for trying to interfere. Now, this goes on and on and on, and I'm trying to keep this into short segments. Okay. Only by understanding can we clear the way. Just as the law of warning helps us to avoid unnecessary problems in life, the law of opportunity offers us the possibility of finding great satisfactions. Both laws are recognized in the small, subtle details of life. Many people reject opportunities because they mistakenly think this is not for me. I don't like it. It's not my turn. There's not a good atmosphere. There's no motivation. I'm not appreciated. I can't stand it anymore. And in that way, they miss the best opportunities that life offers them. An opportunity may present itself with simple signs like, for example, someone asking us a favor, our boss telling us to do a job we've never done, or someone we don't know giving us a card for someone who can help us. Taking advantage of the opportunity involves doing whatever we decide to do with all our energy and love, as though it were the most important thing in our lives, or as though we were doing it for the person we love most. Without the kind of work it is, or where we do it, or where we do it, or who we are doing it for mattering at all. This is the way we will put the law in our favor. The result in our lives may be surprising. Okay, so then they go on to give an example. Let's consider an example. Someone who has made great efforts to finance his degree in psychology, but could not find his job as a psychologist. One day he was offered a very lowly job, but little by little his workmates began to tell him their problems, and they found his advice very useful. It seemed unfair to him not to be paid for doing this, and that the company psychologist did not resolve the cases. But because he knew the laws of the universe, he continued to work with enthusiasm, helping everyone who was sent to him free of charge, and magically, the psychologist handed in her resignation, and he was hired to take her place. Okay, so the law of opportunity basically explained for me that the laws of the universe are not spiritually based. They are universal, which means they are for everybody, whether we know about them or not. And the reason that we get hung up in a stuck mode in a place where you're not seeming to go forward, okay, is because we don't understand how these sublaws actually work. And I'm going to be doing another one of these very shortly. I'm hoping to explain these things that I'm actually learning in a way that we can all take advantage of what's going on here in our universal laws. Okay, and I think the next one I'm going to do maybe the laws of warning, okay, which actually comes prior to this, along with the law of 2 and the law of 3. So I hope you find this information good for you. As always, I encourage you to do the research. Okay, research is a good thing, you know? You get answers. And if you can't get answers, then you can ask people, you know, and maybe that will lead you down a different rabbit hole. But anyway, I love you guys. If you have any questions, you can get a hold of me at Kimmie's Rainbow, KIMMIES @gmail.com. You can also get a hold of me on Facebook. I have a Facebook group called Rainbow's Journey. Okay. And I thank you for listening. If you like this video, please like it and subscribe and share. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And until we go down into the next rabbit hole, I will see you soon. Much love. Mwah.